Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. If you like all things true crime, if you like it delivered in a peaceful, tranquil manner, if you like it clear and concise without drama, then I highly recommend you subscribe. And if you like what you hear, please smash the like button. It's a free way you can help. And now, without further ado, let's dig in. What happened that night or early morning to 13-year-old Madeline Soto? I'm talking about Sunday, February 25th into Monday, February 26th. Maddie's mother, Jen Soto, told the police she sent her boyfriend, Stephen Stearns, and her daughter to sleep in the upstairs guest bedroom at 11 p.m. on Sunday, February 25th. After that, the only person who knows exactly what went down is Stearns. Ultimately, we know Maddie ended up deceased sometime before 7:35 a.m. I say this because Stearns was captured on a security camera discarding her backpack in a dumpster at 7:35 a.m. I think it's safe to assume that Maddie was deceased when Stearns was doing this. Thus, we can conclude that Maddie died at some point between 11 p.m. and, let's say, 7:30 a.m. I'm guessing there with the 7:30 a.m., and that's because it would have taken Stearns some time to get Maddie from that upstairs bedroom down to the ground floor level and out to his silver Lincoln sedan. My assumption is that Maddie died inside her mother's townhome, and thus would have been deceased when Stearns moved her from the residence. I believe he did this under the veil of night to avoid detection. There are a couple of potential clues as to when whatever happened. The first is a message that Stearns sent using the Telegram app. The Telegram app is described as a secure messaging and audio calling cloud-based app that allows you to send messages, photos, videos, and files of any type to your contacts. This app has been known to be used for illegal activities, such as people who are into child P, also by white supremacists and terrorists. Stearns sent the Telegram message at 11:49 a.m., and the fear with this is that Stearns may have filmed himself doing Maddie in. No one seems to know how this guy had money to buy things like vape juice. I believe it's possible he was selling photos and videos of Maddie. If this Telegram message is related to Maddie's death, then she died relatively soon after being sent to bed by her mother, just 49 minutes later. If this is the case, then Stearns had quite a few hours in which to come up with his plan or his mission on how to deal with Maddie's body. I'm assuming he would have preferred getting Maddie out of the house and down to his car when it was dark outside. So it's possible Maddie was placed in the silver Lincoln in the very early morning hours on Monday, February 26. If Maddie went to bed in pajamas, then Stearns must have put the green sweatshirt, blue jeans, and white Crocs on her before he took her out to his car. It would seem Stearns likely slept very little that night/morning. After allegedly putting his hands around her neck and doing the deed, Stearns, I would think, had to have been stressed out and panicking, unless he's a hardcore psychopath with little emotion. I picture him trying to think clearly, hurrying about the room, trying to get everything in order and hide any evidence, all the while having to be quiet because Jen Soto was asleep downstairs. I think Stephen Stearns leaving the condo complex so early Monday morning to supposedly take Maddie to school and dropping her off well before the start of the classes hints that he was ready to get rid of her body early that morning, like a racehorse chomping at the bit to start running. I'm sure he wanted to put as much space between Maddie's body and himself, but it had to be woven into Maddie's typical school day schedule. I'm sure he realized he had to get rid of her backpack, her school laptop, her shoes, and anything that she would normally take with her to school. He deliberately left her cell phone back at home, as well as his own, likely so that the police could not locate Maddie via the phone's GPS. But let's go back to Sunday night. After attending her multi-hour-long birthday party, which supposedly began at 3 p.m. and ended we don't know exactly when, Maddie was perhaps either amped up from all the excitement or exhausted. Either way, you'd think that once she put her head down on the pillow, she would likely have quickly conked out. Is this what happened? But did Stearns not want to sleep? Was he pushing a tired Maddie to partake in his essay? And did she finally stand up and say, "No more. This is not okay. There are boys at school that I'm interested in, and not a creepy old dude like you. I'm going to tell." Something triggered Stearns to take Maddie's life. I don't think this crime was planned. I think it was spontaneous, and that's why things were done in such a messy way on Monday morning. I say messy because he gets videotaped right out of the house near the dumpster discarding those items. The cameras also pick up his car with a passenger dressed in a green top, slumped over with her mouth ajar. Had Stearns planned his crime, he would have scouted out the security cameras, and he would have found a route that wouldn't have him picked up with Maddie's deceased body inside his vehicle. Stearns was also captured on security footage moving a limp body from the passenger seat to the trunk of his car. He drove all the way to that Disney building and to the top level of the parking garage, only to be caught by the camera there. The question is, what prompted this vicious act? Is it connected to Maddie's 13th birthday party? Stearns said he was a bonus dad for Maddie. Some dad, right? I'm wondering why he wasn't at her party on Sunday. Did Maddie not want him there? Did her grandmother, who has said that she didn't like him, did she say he couldn't come? Could Stearns have been angered by Maddie drawing a line in the sand and saying, "No, I don't want Stefan at my party"? That seems sort of petty, though. I think it's more likely that she said, "I'm done, I've had enough, and I'm going to tell on you." Nobody wants to go to prison, right? This crime was up close and personal, so that indicates a lot of rage. Something happened that spurned a lot of rage in Stefan Stearns. By the way, I've seen a lot of people look at that one photo of Maddie at her party, the one where she looks kind of washed out, and they've said she looks exhausted. I don't think she's exhausted, because there's a video of her where she's larking about near the water in her blue dress outside. She looks vibrant, she looks happy. Her eyes are clearly blue in the video, as is the color of the dress. I think in the first photo, the reason she looks washed out is simply down to lighting. Her eyes look dark in that photo, and the dress looks tan, and I think it's because of the bad lighting. Back to what happened to Maddie. I think Stearns used his hands on her neck for two reasons. One, it's a quiet way to do somebody in. It won't wake one's sleeping mother downstairs. And two, I think this was not a planned event. Again, something sparked his rage, and he grabbed for whatever he had. In this case, it was his own hands. When interviewed, Stearns told the police that he and Maddie woke up between 7 and 7:15 a.m. on Monday morning and were out the door by 7:30 to get an early start. This doesn't ring true to me. Even if Maddie was a low-maintenance young lady, you'd think she would have needed more time to get ready for school. I think Stefan's timeline supports him being eager to get Maddie out of the house and get her dumped somewhere far from home. His timeline hints to me at him being in a hurry to carry out all the things he needed to do that morning. 1, pretend to drive an alive Maddie to school. 2, later move her limp body from the front passenger seat to the trunk. 3, drive out to a rural location and dump her body. 4, be back to the townhome in time so as not to make Jen Soto think something was amiss. While Jen Soto lied to the cops, I don't believe she was in cahoots with Stearns when it came to doing Maddie in. So I'll leave you with all of this to ponder. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time on Bed Crime Stories. Now smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.